This channel originally was meant to be very specific anecdotal stories on my personal healing path. I went really deep into spiritual seeking, very deep into mental health. This exploration led me to, as I looked back on all of these concepts that you come across on this path of learning who you are, one of my main pain points was that a lot of spiritual phrases didn't make sense to me. So things like, if it's not serving you, let it go. And I'm like, what does that mean? There were all of these spiritual terms that felt empty to me, and it would have been helpful for me to have case studies. If I had case studies, I feel like oh, okay, this is the application. This is the reason why I believe a lot of spiritual traditions teach in myth and metaphor, because our vocabulary is just a symbol, and it is in seeing these things applied in a way that relates deeply to yourself. You can see yourself in somebody's story. If you can see yourself in something that I've shared, oh, I've been in that situation, I've been in that scenario, got it, that's what this phrase actually means. You have to have the case of these things, but I believe that that same thing applies to personal development and personal growth. And that was sort of the premise and purpose of behind my channel. Today, I have nothing prepared. I'm just going to give some life updates, and it has actually a lot of spiritual lessons. I would say that I had a pretty big win recently when it comes to insomnia and using my relationship to sleep as a spiritual practice, just this like quiet practice that you do that nobody even really knows is happening. And just every day you're taking inventory, seeing what your mental patterns are, what are your daily mental habits like, and making adjustments when you can, accepting when you can, following your intuition, trying to allow more joy in, trying to allow more light in. And it's just you lose the need to even talk about it. I'll get to the part about the using the sleep as a spiritual practice. My cat, Vinny, and I think he's napping right now, but he is the white cat that will pop up on the screen sometimes. He has been waking me up at 6 in the morning, meowing every day, very early, and I don't have to be up for work until 7:30. So that's pretty frustrating. I started to notice that on days that he really disrupted my sleep, I would get really cranky. Like, there was this subtle like annoyance with him. So once I became aware that I was doing this, I instantly shifted, like that energy was just gone. And I was like, I mean, he's a cat, like there's absolutely no reason for me to treat him any different than I would any other moment, which is absolutely adoring him. So that was sort of solved, and I started to notice the next days that he would meow, and I would wake up and be like, "Oh, hi, sweetie." Like, it was really easy for me to switch into just loving acceptance, no annoyance at all. And he calms down a lot quicker when I meet him that way. So then I can sometimes go back to sleep. One night, I found myself unable to sleep. What happened was that I had gone to an event, and it was great. It was really awesome. I mean, it was so fun and a lot of really sweet people. And I get home and it's time for bed, and I'm getting in bed and I'm just replaying the event, possibly be anxiety or something, but it didn't feel bad. It was just like, oh yeah, then that happened, and then that happened, and then I talked to this lady, and then I looked around and everyone was gone. It was like very little things. It's got to be some form of OCD or something. Doesn't matter. Anyway, 30 minutes pass, and then 45 minutes pass. And every time I catch myself in it, of course, I reset, and I'm like, okay, great, time for bed. And then, oh, but one more thing would come in. And I wonder if we'll do it again. And just things like this. And then all of a sudden I had this thought that there was a part of me that wanted to go to sleep and just let my mind rest, and another part that thought it was really important for some reason to replay the night. And it occurred to me to talk to myself or to treat myself this with the same kindness, compassion, forgiveness, and acceptance that I did to my cat who had been keeping me up the mornings prior. I've learned not to be annoyed with him, so I won't be annoyed with myself for the fact that I can't let this go right now. So in my head, I was like, okay, Paloma, this seems really important right now. You really want to replay these events. I understand. It feels like it's something we should do, but we really need to get some sleep. And tomorrow we can journal about it. But I think it was less that than just the awareness that, like, I didn't have to be hard on myself for that moment, for the fact that for all of my meditating, I couldn't get my mind to still. And of course, I fall asleep. Like within a few minutes, I'm asleep. And so that to me was like a huge triumph the next day. And I was like, whoa, that was awesome. Had never considered, doing something like that, or talking to myself like that. I think I also was influenced from Thich Nhat Hanh's meditations when he talks about like anger being one part of you and your mindful, present, essential nature that is like untouched being another part of you. And when you feel yourself, you feel anger coming on, you can call upon that still essential nature to come take care of whatever the anger, for example, that is coming up. And so I heard him talk about, breathe in and you can say, I know that I'm angry. Breathe out. I'm taking good care of my anger. And now those things are coexisting and it's not like one or the other. And so I believe that that may have helped me with the sleeping situation, to apply that same thing. There's this restless me who is having a hard time just letting thoughts go to go to bed, and then this still me that knows that there's nothing fruitful here. There's probably some kind of compulsion doing this. And part of it was appreciation. Like I had a lot of appreciation for how beautiful the evening went. But it was excessive. Like it was like an hour past. And sometimes those nights, they go on forever. It's like those time warp moments. I think that I'm going to keep this style of free flow discussions and letting current experiences come up. But that includes, if I, in my current experience, find an old journal and find an old entry, I may talk about that as it comes up. I would love to know your thoughts on the free flow. It may be very scattered because that's kind of how I go. Ideally, I'm hoping to continue to go into stillness and then let the conversation flow and sort of honing that skill. That's what Eckhart does. And actually, I noticed that in his talks, he does take a lot of pauses because he's recalibrating again to stillness. But I want to send you guys a lot of love and well wishes for the equinox and for the spring. Hopefully you're feeling that fire horse energy and hopefully it's feeling really good for you. You're enjoying the earth coming alive. All right, that's all I had for today. Thank you all.